about to switch us over. Hopefully everything transitions correctly. We'll find out once the YouTube catches up. But yeah, let me just check my settings so that way the bitrate isn't crazy, because I have shit internet over here. I'm just gonna tone it down a little bit. Hopefully that works. That way we have no lag or anything. Just hoping the stream works good. Still got a few seconds to catch up. But yeah, so I got notes. I got notes on notes.
Are we gonna talk about like specific things or like anything?
So first things first, I have a few questions to ask you guys from the fans and the fans being me. So I'll ask you guys a few questions, and then I have like 3 small theories that I want to talk to you guys about, and one of them plays off of hopefully the theory that you talked about, Hime, with it was during your Chibi Girls podcast.
Oh yeah.
So
which one?
it was the devil fruit awakenings being different per person. Yeah, let me just check.
Yeah, that the awakening would be different depending on the person who's using it. Yeah, and I still stand by that.
Yeah, so it looks like the
Nerd, why am I not subscribed to you? That's crazy.
I don't know.
I thought I was.
Oh yeah.
All I know is I follow Yuki religiously, so. Alright, I think that it should be good to go on the live stream. If anybody can tell me if anything gets out of line. So hopefully it should be all good to go. I don't know. I don't know where Chestnut went. It looked like she's loading.
Oh god.
I see her. No, I see you.
Oh.
You see me? Do you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
I hear you. I do not see you. Yeah, I see a buffering thing.
Uh-oh. Let me see. I can get back out and get back in, but
from the fans and the fans being me. So I'll ask you guys a few questions, and then that works. I have like 3.
let me get out and I'll get right back in.
But that's weird. I could hear her and see her well.
It might be me. Oh, see, I can see her fine. I can see her fine now. Okay.
Okay.
All right, sweet. So, welcome to the Theory No Me podcast. I am very thankful to be able to do this while over here, even if it is with shit internet. I'm glad that I can have you guys for this podcast. It's really awesome. I've done 2 of these before. One of them was with Larry. One of them was just with Chestnut. But Chestnut has been the constant through all these, so I appreciate her being here.
Of course.
So I just want to say that it's awesome, and I just really appreciate the people that are in chat, except for the dude who says Naruto solos. That's a trash take. But
oh my god.
But that's beside the point. No, I mean, honestly, we could go back and forth on that debate. But anyway, so I just want to say thank you so much, Hime, because you are killing it on TikTok with all of your cool skits, and even with like just your breakdowns afterwards. I even like the theories that you were talking about when it comes to like and everything else that goes into it. It's pretty great, and also I like the way that you trash on Mihawk. It's pretty great. And if you guys aren't following Hime, you have to, and you also have to follow her dog Yuki. Yuki only has 35 followers, one of which is me, and I'm proud to be it. So please go follow there. So then we also have the wonderful Chestnut Tanuki, who has a crazy following on TikTok, like 14 or 15K subscribers. And the YouTube has just gotten to like 1.3 or something K followers. Something like that.
I'm at, hold up, let me see. I'm at 1.2. 1.2K.
Getting up there.
Almost.
And the Chibi Girls podcast has been fantastic. I've been watching all the reviews, and the Truth or Dare one was honestly one of my favorites. You guys did Larry so dirty by making him admit that Blackbeard was top one. You too. The Boruto is the best one. Ugh.
Oh my god.
I would have gone with the pass on that one. I would have definitely gone with that. But yeah, so I wanna. That was really funny though. Yo, Shin was hilarious.
And Shin was into it.
As he says it was.
Oh my god, that would have. Yo, why didn't I think of that?
I had that in there, but he never hit the wheel.
Oh, damn.
The prompt was going to be Kingdom is the worst thing I've ever read, and the anime is better than the manga. Is what the prompt was.
That would have like he would. Bro, that would have been so good.
That would have been. That would have been clip-worthy material.
I wish he would have rolled on it, but he never did.
Either that or like Kid is the worst introduction to One Piece that I've ever seen. I like Foxy way better.
Oh yeah. Or like a character that he hates, and we just say that he likes it so much.
I'll have to do more game things.
Oh yeah, that was so
fun.
much fun. You know what? I can actually, whenever you want to do that, I can actually help you because I know the people, so we can find like Christian.
Oh yeah,
I should probably do it this week because it's break week. Honestly, I should do that.
That would be really cool.
That'd be a good one. Yeah. All right, so for my first question, I want to ask because I just want to let people know more about you guys. So what was the last song or album that you guys just listened to today or within the week?
Wait, what? Let me just go check my my songs that I played in this.
You ready to get copyright struck? I'm just gonna go share my screen and play it for you really fast.
Bruh.
I'm so non-consequential. They're probably like, it doesn't even matter.
It'll. Oh wait, hold up. This is called. I think it's my like songs. Here it is. Ready? Is it? Can you hear it?
Hold on.
Just wait.
I'm digging it.
It's from Oshinoko.
Oh.
Peak anime. Wait.
Peak.
Oh, there we go. Perfect. All right, that was it. So you don't get super copyright struck. Nah, I heavy mess with Oshinoko. Oh, that ending theme is so good. I listened to it all morning today.
Honestly, you want to know like an intro theme that I can't get enough of? It's like honestly both of them from Blue Lock, like the openings to like
really,
yeah, they're so good. Like the Blue Lock is fantastic.
Mm-hmm. It is.
What about you, Hime?
The last song that I was listening to, it was the new. It's called Angel Part 1. It's the new like song from Fast and Furious, and it's a really good song. So I was listening to it because it was like new and it just came out. It came out actually 2 days ago. That was the last song I listened to. It's actually just in the movie. The song like was in the movie. But yeah, it's a good song.
Cool. Good to know. I didn't know if like we were gonna find out something crazy.
Oh, crazy! But I listen to every type of music. Literally every type of music. So.
I listen to anime music. There's nothing crazy.
Yeah, me too. There's nothing crazy. I listen to like many languages. many songs, many types.
Hime's over here with her French, and it's like
Yo, I have
I don't
some
know any
French
French.
rap. I have French rap. I have like Japanese. I have Korean. I have German. I have English. I even have some Arabic music. I have everything.
Wow, even some Arabic music. That's like what I hear every time I turn on the radio when I while I'm over here. It's just constant.
That's you.
My next question is, what are two of your top two creators that you want to work with, as far as this could be either One Piece or even just regular content creators?
That we didn't work with and we want to work with, or
Yeah.
that we already worked with, or that we never worked with.
That you never worked with.
That's a good question. Damn. I need to go on my TikTok real fast and think about this, because there's many really cool creators. There's a guy I really like his content. He's more of a streamer, and he streams like him gaming or like him watching some animes episode, and I really and people really like him, and like they really watch a lot of his stuff, and I would like to one day maybe watch one anime episode with him so we can like react together to it. His name is like Legends Gaming. He's on TikTok. He's really cool. You should follow him. And another one I would say that I would want to maybe collab with. I'm gonna be honest, I never collabed with Vision, so that would be really cool. I never did one, so why not?
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah.
What about you, Tanuki?
Everybody tells me I should do collabs with Ohara and Tekking, so I guess them. I get people all the time saying, "Yo, you should go hook up with Tekking. You and Tekking." I'm like, all right.
Do people really use the word hookup?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Not like in that sense, but
No, I know, but it just sounded weird. As a non-English speaker, of course.
Sure.
I would
buddy.
say, yeah, I would say should go collab with that person. I wouldn't use that phrasing, but yeah.
You can use hookup. Hookup doesn't mean only to have sex. People weird.
Yeah, it's like link up. It doesn't mean also just that. It just
Yeah.
I feel like
all right. Anyway,
maybe it's like where I'm from, but I feel like link up is way different than that.
but I ask many people as a non-American person. I asked many people, and all of them gave me different definitions depending on where they lived. So.
All right, that's cool. Honestly, so like I don't know if you guys follow him or not. I think it's I don't really know how to pronounce it because I originally thought it was one way, and then I started following his wife because she just started watching One Piece with him. It's Saiga Runner, I believe.
Oh, it's just not. That's like your friend, right?
Yes.
I love his content. I actually bought some of his merch. I bought the Zoro shirt that has like the scar across it, and then it also has like a map on the back with like a compass, and it like shows like where the person should be heading, and the like it shows it like completely going off course on the back. I was like, that's super cool. So I really like him. I also really like Straw Hat Goofy. I actually got to meet him at Comic-Con. Me and my wife were dressed up as Cosmo and Wanda from Fairly Odd Parents, and we got to meet him. It was really cool.
Yeah, I did like a live with him. He's really, really a nice person.
Yeah, he seems super cool. I follow him for all like his Marvel stuff too, because he's constantly getting invited to like all the premieres and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he's a dope creator. I would love to do a collab with him at some point. So my next question is, what do you guys do for fun outside of content creation?
Do you want to go first, Chestnut?
I guess watch anime. Nothing.
You're so funny.
What am I supposed to, bro? I work at my job, and then I come home and I do TikToks, and then I watch anime, and then I just sit alone in my room in like the corner, and I just like have like a anime villain monologue, and then I go to bed, and that's what I do every night, rinse and repeat.
No, but
that's
honestly,
about
that's
right.
fine. That's fine. I mean, I usually, me too. I watch animes, I read manga, manhwas, and stuff. But I'm more manhwas, to be honest, than manga. But like, other than gymming and like sometimes chilling with some friends, right now, like Yuki, since like he's a baby, I just like it's been only 2 weeks. He's taken a lot of my time because I need to train him, and he's not like. He's still a puppy, so sometimes he poops and pee everywhere. So I need to like, clean up after him and stuff like that. So he is my hobby at the moment, if that counts.
That counts. You're doing the dog mom thing.
Yeah.
That's good. So I have a question. You guys have been working with each other for quite a while. So you guys know the ins and outs of each other's personality. So if there was an action figure made of either of you, what do you think the other one's catchphrases would be?
Bro, like, why are you laughing? But she has so many. She has so many catchphrases. I don't feel like she has just one. Like she says "worm" a lot. She says, "Yeah, that's true." She says wait. What was it? It's like wait. Let me.
Wow, look how much
No,
she
no,
hates
no.
me.
Yeah, you know what? That's the catchphrase. That's the catchphrase. She always said that. Hime hates me. Hime hates me. Hime hates me. Otherwise, I mean, there's some stuff I cannot say on stream, but otherwise,
Whoa!
Whoa! Wow, buddy.
no,
You could have said, if you aren't caught up, scroll ahead. That would have been probably the best one.
Oh wait, are we talking about TikTok? Because you don't speak like that in real life.
No.
Well, I
like,
don't, but I say that all the time.
I
Okay, so
mean,
we're talking about like any. I thought it was in real life.
well,
You can say it in real life. Well, what am I saying in real life? Damn, Hime.
No, but you never say. But you never say like, if you're not caught up, scroll ahead. Like, you always say
I'm
that
not
in
gonna say that.
TikTok.
I mean, you're right. You're right.
I mean, like,
don't know.
what's something that you find each other saying a lot on stream?
On stream.
On stream or in general?
I mean, she always says Hime hates me on stream as well. So like, that's actually her catch.
Look what she hates me. If I was him, I'd be like, "Oh, that's interesting," and then just like
What? I say that? I say that a
all
lot.
the time.
No
All the
way.
time. Every time we'll say something, she's like, "Yeah, that's interesting."
My
All right.
vocabulary is so trash, and this is the only thing I know how to say. Like, I don't have any adjectives that I could use.
Oh, I like that. That's interesting.
That's entertaining, interesting.
Or she'll be like, okay, so, and then just like go on. Like you'll say something and she'll just like not acknowledge and be like,
Honestly, it's because like I don't know how to speak. I don't know how to speak. So I'm like searching for like the words that I know, 3 English words that I know, and I rotate between them.
That's
or it could be, what you mean? What you mean?
And also, she's always like, we're having technical issues all the time.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
I thought for Hime it would be like crazy fan behavior.
Oh, crazy
Oh,
fan
we
behavior.
we both do. Because I
I
remember
know.
that I started saying that. Me and Hebe just say that.
Yeah. I took it from her. She started this, and I just like, by the way, like I'm like, when whoever I chill with the most, I just use their slang, and I become a mini them. So like I'm a mini Chestnut right now. Like I use her stuff.
Warm up.
Oh, you're crazy, girl.
You're crazy, girl. I love. They're
See-
vegetables.
See,
They're
I,
vegetables.
Yeah. Okay. That's a big one. They're vegetables. The like. So when I say that somebody is like, he's an ingredient, he's a vegetable. That means he's so like useless to the story. He's so like even in real life, like he's so like he's nothing. This is how I call them: ingredients, vegetables.
Yo, that's so funny because I say the same thing when people are useless, but I'm like, yeah, they're just like a piece of furniture. They're just like
Yo,
they're like
that's
an
so
end
funny.
table in the room. Like,
Bro's a
That's so
chair.
funny.
yeah, like
I love it.
Like,
I love
Like
it.
irrelevant. You know?
Kid was a chair, and then just Shanks tossed him.
Wait, don't say that to Far Vision.
Yeah, Par's like new theory. Kid's a chair.
Par will have a theory, and it'll be like it'll be like, listen, you know how this character in chapter 524 looked up at the sky that's because they're a sky mermaid. And then he'll just get like 7 pages of information and like start pixel scaling with like a telescope to the panels, and you're like, what the hell? And then it makes sense.
Somebody said he made facts inside of the comments.
Yeah, I don't have that soundboard.
That's so funny.
Sad he made facts.
It's so funny.
That should have been one when you were like, I just sit in the corner and villain monologue. That's awesome. So my next question is, are you guys going to any cons in the near future?
Well, how funny you bring that up!
Oh my god, this is so crazy because we actually are, and yeah, Anime Expo LA in July.
Yeah?
So it's like from like the 1st of July to the 4th. So we're going there. It's gonna be really fun, and I'm gonna get her to cosplay.
Ooh.
She's gonna cosplay. It's gonna be
Sure,
so cool.
buddy. Sure, buddy. Keep telling yourself that.
Oh
But
yeah. Okay. You will. You don't have a choice.
Listen, he may hates me so much he won't even come a day before.
Company, I'm telling you. And also, like, you're gonna be sleeping the whole time in my hotel. Like, stop complaining, okay? No, it's all jokes, of course. But yeah, no, it's gonna be so much fun. I cannot wait. And like, I'm counting the days. Like, it's like less than 40 days, right? That's so cool. I cannot wait.
It's gonna be really fun. I'm excited.
Are you guys doing any other ones like Anime NYC or New York Comic Con?
But that's like, so far we didn't like plan that. But like, I don't mind. I would love to go to that one. That one is not so far from you, Chestnut. I think.
I think I'll probably get a hotel room. So
Yeah.
you can dorm with me if you want. I'll pay for it. Don't worry.
Yeah, 100%. I'm down.
Wow,
I'm down.
sugar mama status and all.
You know, once you become a PA, you got to start taking care of the little guy, which is Hime.
I'm an engineer, okay?
That's wild.
Oh.
Yeah, because I'll probably end up going to Anime NYC and probably Comic Con too. So, but Hime's not gonna hang out with me because I'm gonna be probably cosplayed as Crocodile.
But listen. If you're Crocodile, like, listen, I will look and I will be like, yo, if Crocodile actually looked like that, I would have respected him.
Whoa.
I would be saying that.
Crazy fan behavior.
Listen, crazy. Yeah, 100%. But listen, if you cosplay as Doflamingo, bro.
I actually saw at Comic Con. I saw a couple dressed as Crocodile and Doflamingo. The woman was Doflamingo and the man was Crocodile. And I was like, shouldn't it be the other way around?
Cool. Yeah, it should be the other way around. But it's honestly still super cool.
Yeah, no, it was super
that.
awesome.
We need to plan our cosplays, bro. Me and Chestnut.
Me?
Of course.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure, we can do that. I'm sorry. I just I don't know what's happening right now. I guess spaced out and died for a little bit. I don't know.
It's all that Pepsi.
It's all that Pepsi. It's always the Pepsi. Everything is related to the Pepsi.
Yep, like my tooth shattering in my.
He drank in another country.
Wild.
Oh
Okay.
God.
So there's one more question that I have to ask. Soja King?
Oh, this should have been the catchphrase.
If I could run up on her and I would drop kick her so hard. So hard.
Oh my god. When I was listening to that, and then she brought it up almost every single time afterwards. I was like, yo, this is amazing.
Bro, I even posted a video on my TikTok. That shit was so hilarious. I was laughing at myself laughing.
Yeah.
For a solid 2 minutes.
No, it was more.
I
I caught the video. It was at least 4 minutes.
Yo, no, this is why I'm saying that Hime hates me. She laughed at me, not with me, for 4 minutes.
So funny.
Laughed at me.
You know what's funny?
It was pretty funny.
She was trying to explain the Robin, I want to live, and that's an emotional moment, and I was just crying, laughing, rolling. I was gonna fall from my chair, and she was like, this iconic moment that obviously Hime think it's funny, right? Tell us why it's funny, Hime. And I was dying laughing. It was so funny.
When you said that, I was like, no way did she just say that. Like,
It's Soja King.
it's definitely
Yeah,
not.
listen. It's like Mike who calls Aokiji Ayana Koji.
Yeah, but that's just but he's like not actually serious, so it's not as funny. Like, cause he's doing it because he can't say Aokiji.
Honestly, I
that's even
love
sadder.
I love Michael's redemption arc from being such a hater to being a One Piece fan now. It's great. It's been fun to
Yeah,
watch.
I like it too. Bro, I like it how when he hates on a character, for example, at the beginning he was like, yo, Bonkley, like I don't like him, and then he was like, when he went to Impel, then he was like, yo, I love Bonkley, and I'm like, he's always like judge too fast things. It's so funny.
I'll be honest. Sometimes Mike be annoying because it'd be like, come on, like he'll say something. He'll be like, "This is so weird. Why did this happen?" It's like, I don't know. Maybe if you watched the episode before, you'd know.
Yeah, or if you continue watching, you would understand.
Right.
Logic.
Yeah, like, so that's actually really funny that you say that. So I got my wife into watching One Piece, and she absolutely hates Sanji. She thinks that he's the worst simp that has ever happened. And so I started like writing down in my phone things that she says that I think are foreshadowing for something that happens later. And she literally was just like, oh my God, you know what? This is the type of motherfucker that would just like marry some girl just because. And because he simps so hard.
no way.
And I was like,
Your wife has future side. Tell her she has future side.
I was like, she did not just call the whole plot of Whole Cake, like, when we were literally in, like, Drum Island. I was like, this
So
is
cool.
insane. So, yeah, no, that was great. All right, so one other thing. For some reason, the other day, I was just like, I was sitting and I was writing down something, and I wrote Seraphim, and then all of a sudden, I was just like, I was doing something for this this podcast, and all of a sudden, I was like, I accidentally wrote Seraphime, and I was like, oh my God, I'm like, Hime needs to just like get like a PFP of like a Seraphim. And I was like, that'd be great.
Oh my God, that would be so funny. Yeah.
But
Yeah, you would definitely be the Kuma Seraphim if you were any of them.
you could have the pause.
What? Papa? Why?
No reason. Continue
Oh my
on.
God, yeah, continue on.
Don't look at me like that.
Is this when Hime is just like, yo, she hates me?
Yeah, she
No.
hates me.
I don't hate you.
I know I hate you too. It's always
I
a joke.
would-
I never hate her. I
I'm
love
just
her.
joshing with you, girly.
I know. Don't worry.
Honestly,
That's another thing.
so I think it was TJ said that you should cosplay Blackbeard, and I was like, yo, Hime should be Whitebeard. You guys
Yeah,
should go
that would
as
be so
Whitebeard
cool.
and Blackbeard.
But honestly, she
John-
drew us a picture of like her as Blackbeard and me as Whitebeard, and like if we could make that like actually happen. Now, I have a white wig. No, wait. He has white hair or he has blonde hair. I'm so confused.
Yes, he has like blonde and white hair, so.
Okay, but I have a white wig anyway, so like that could actually like we could actually make that happen.
That'd be an
We
interesting
could.
one.
I'd have to find a really hot female Blackbeard cosplay though.
No, but that's the thing. You only have to find like a pirate thing.
Yeah.
That's it. Like a
I
pirate
guess I
switch.
would have to get like one of those like the bras that are like bandages because Blackbeard doesn't wear a shirt.
But I mean,
You know what I
even me, he doesn't wear shirts. I would need to do the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Actually, I forgot that Whitebeard doesn't wear a shirt. I forgot he's like he's mostly naked. I don't know how I forgot that. I was
Well,
thinking of Blackbeard and I was thinking of like a coat, but
no, but like most of like the old ones are like,
Honestly,
like that.
Blackbeard's like whole outfit is basically like you could buy like a Pirates of the
any pirate costume.
yeah, like Pirates of the Caribbean, like Jack Sparrow jacket, and it would be
Legit.
fine.
Legit.
You would just need to get some rings or something like that, and then 3 guns.
Listen, as long as you have the zeh ha 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 ha, you're fine. Everybody will know.
Oh my gosh.
That's wild.
I'd have to work on it. I could do like the English dub, and he goes, Z!
No way that it goes like this.
Yeah. Never
Oh
heard
my
the English
gosh.
dub? No.
Yo, the
Oh my
English
God.
the English dub's crazy. Yo, there's one other thing I have to say before we get on to theories. Why have you not watched Avatar: The Last Airbender?
We finished the first season
Oh, you did?
together
Oh,
just before the stream, and we actually started the second season.
okay.
Yeah. I've been having her watch it with me.
Good. Like, I am an Avatar stan. Like, I love
It's
Avatar
actually
so
so
much. Like,
I love
you're so close to meeting one of my favorite characters.
Who is it? What?
I didn't tell her any of the characters' names,
Okay.
so
So if
is it a little, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is it the
So it was like, seriously, my favorite character. Like, just know whenever you get to the episode that is titled "The Blind Bandit," it is my favorite episode.
Okay. Perfect. I will look forward. Honestly, I love it, and I'm so surprised it's a kids show because like I would watch it even like right now. I'm enjoying it as an adult.
Never watch the live action. You'll be sorely
Yeah,
disappointed.
no. She told me. She told me we're gonna watch it at the end just to see how bad it was. So I was like, okay, fine.
We're gonna watch the entire series first, and then I'm gonna have her watch the live action.
Are
And
you-
after she gets like all of the beautiful animation and stuff, I'm gonna just like bombard her with that, and then she's gonna hate me, and it's gonna be hilarious.
Like, it's so well done. Like, I love the voice actors too. Like, they're so cool.
Yeah.
My wife actually paid for the voice actor of the character I'm talking about to do a cameo and like wish me a happy birthday for one of the years. So yeah, it was
That
super
is so
great.
cool. That is so
It's amazing
cool.
how many.
WY.
It honestly, she's fantastic.
WY.
But she like, the voice actors are just so cool, and the fact that they're all coming back for like the new is awesome. I love it. All right, so now I want to get into. I just want to say one thing on the latest chapter that has to go into a theory that me and Chestnut have talked about in the past, because agenda piece always rules. I just want to say, Sabo looking like he was controlled by Eam. Just saying.
You
Where-
think so?
in the
I
last
think
chapter?
that's possible. I think that it, like, the way that Sabo looked when he was looking at the paper, he was like, it had to play out that way. Like, almost kind of like I didn't really have anything to do with it, but at the same time, it sparked the flames of revolution. So I don't know. I think there's a really, really good chance that if Sabo goes into that throne room, I think Eam controls him and makes him kill Cobra.
Maybe that's why he was unfazed and said that like, oh, like the Cobra death, like I'm not too sad about it because it played out really well at the end when he said that.
Yeah, I mean, and we don't really know the extent of Eam's power, but I don't know. It's
I
kind of
don't-
crazy.
I don't think she can control people because she would be able to control the Gorosei, and like they seem like they have their own mind, the minds of their own. But like it's honestly it's still possible. It's still possible.
So the thing that I was talking about with Chestnut was it's a form of hockey that I think it's a form of conquerors that like goes past all others to the point where like Eam can basically insert his or her will inside of someone, and then they have to follow those orders. So the Gorosei still be themselves, but they could just have the will of Eam inside them that couldn't raise a hand to her or him. And like that's how like the government was able to flourish for the past 800 plus years, is because like you know, kingdoms rise and fall in a few hundred years, times even less, but somehow this kingdom managed to hold power for 800 years. Like, it seems kind of crazy.
No, I feel you.
I mean, it all could be disproved by next chapter, but we'll find out. Or it'll get off-paneled and we won't find out.
I thought Oda was gonna off-panel a lot of stuff, but we see a ton, so it might not be. Although
Yeah.
I think we're going back to Egghead, considering we haven't seen Luffy in like a fortnight. So
Yeah, I mean, I really do want to see the conclusion of this, though. I want to see what happens, even if it's like almost like a Sabo goes into the room and then we cut away to like the like Sai and Leo like escaping and then them basically like saving Vivi somehow and like I don't know, like throwing Vivi into Wapple's mouth and saying like get her out of here type thing. Like and then we cut back and then all of a sudden we just see Sabo over Cobra's body. And then, like, we might even see, like, Dragon and Ivankov be like, that's really what happened. Like, we don't get to see it, but they hear it from him. Would be very interesting.
So here's my thing. I doubt that Sabo is going to, like, show up into the throne room while everybody is still there. You know what I mean? Like, I think that the way that Sabo is going, he'll probably see it afterwards. And that picture is him standing over, like, the body. Because I would assume that it's probably the Gorosei who killed Cobra on the behalf of Im. You look at the Gorosei, so, like, if you pull up the chapter, there's one Gorosei member that has, like, regret in their face when they're talking to Cobra. And that one is Saturn. And it's really interesting, because it could be that Saturn controlled by Im. But Saturn is slowly breaking out of it, and they sent him the egghead to die.
Ooh.
Because he was breaking control.
That'd be really good. That'd be really
Because why
good.
would they send one of the Gorosei? They never done that ever.
Yeah.
So like,
And it could be that that all of the celestial dragons and the Gorosei are actually controlled by Im because they're so close, and it's like it. I think what the controllable things is, because I was thinking about your theory, it might be more insidious rather than like you could just control people like with Conquerors, where it's like this is something that's like seeped into the foundation of the world government, where it's like Im can have control because they always live on that island. That's why like admirals and marines and the army on that island has so like ingrained into like the status quo, because like that's what the command of all things is. It's hierarchy basically, which I think could be really cool. But then like people who are able to break out of it are disposed of. So I think that could be interesting.
That could also be why one of the Gorosei looks really young, because the one before him was killed, so they had to replace him with someone and they just happened to be younger. So it could even be that the Holy Knights are a precursor to becoming a Gorosei. Like
or vice versa.
Yeah, or vice versa.
I mean, one of them had a sword.
Yeah. I think that they are combatants. I feel like they're...
One of the Gorosei have a sword.
Yeah. I think that they all have some sort of fighting ability. They have to. I mean, if they're that close.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know. I'm very interested, though. Like, I wanted to die because... honestly, if the things go the way that I think they go, and we're getting like a bigger Marine showing than like more so than a Buster Call, if they all show up on Egghead and they're looking to basically expunge all of the Vegapunks, the Straw Hats, do all of that, they could be setting up the fact that they're going to do like a Luluisa type deal on Egghead and expunge Saturn and like everyone else that's there, because it was considered incident, and the only other time that we've heard about incidents are when something is like insane, like God Valley incident, the Rocky Port incident, and now it's the Egghead incident. So like,
Oh yeah, it's gonna be Luluciated. Like this is how I call it. Like 100%.
So I don't know. I'm very, very interested in what's gonna happen.
I just feel like it's such a shame to like lose all of Vegapunk's stuff by Buster calling the whole island. I think like they're gonna go like 100 steps like backward, because like he developed so many things. They need to actually secure whatever he developed and take it for themselves, and then Maybe that's why they're sending Saturn. Who knows? Maybe Saturn has like some sort of power. He can like, I don't know, take
The storage,
whatever.
no
Yeah,
me.
I have no idea. But the thing is, it doesn't make sense to like put everything to the trash. Like they wanna evolve as a society for sure at some point. You
Do
know.
they though?
No,
But I
I
mean,
think they want to regress because the more people progress, the more they look for knowledge, and when they look for knowledge, they end up finding the void century and progress. They want progress that can be controlled.
That
but
I
they still
actually.
but they still want to have like weapons that are like better like stuff that could actually benefit them, and they need scientists to do that, and like Vegapunk probably have like a lot of studies that could actually benefit them. So
But
I don't think they would just throw all of that in the
I
garbage,
think they
so
got all that they needed because I mean once a Gorosei goes to Egghead, they can order all of the Seraphims to leave the island so they can keep the weapons that are designed to basically be harnessed by the world inconsequential. They don't want to help everybody. Otherwise, like all those machines that create food could have helped all these starving nations. Then Cross Guild wouldn't be re-emerging the way they are. They're trying to, feed people because, oh, I need to kill a Marine just to be able to feed my family. Like the world government really doesn't care about anybody else but themselves when it comes down to it.
here's my thing. I think that Hime is actually half right. That there's so much weaponry on that island, and there's so much knowledge that they wouldn't want to get rid of it. But I think that the one trait, like especially with the pacifistas, because when you destroy a pacifista, what are you gonna do? It's destroyed. So you need to have that technology to recreate that. What would be useful though is to have somebody with the knowledge of Vegapunk and destroy the island and just have them basically build only what you instruct them to. And the person who wants to do that is York. So the only person that they technically need is a single one of the Vegapunks and to kill off everybody else and to Luluwisa the island. Or I think that it's going to be very much like Ohara where it's a buster call. And they're going to buster call the island and destroy everything.
or
So-
the but wait, do they need York? You mean they need York just to be able to like control the pacifistas, or because of the knowledge?
The knowledge and the scientific knowledge to recreate them,
can-
fix them, you know what I mean?
But the thing is, like, does York have these abilities? Don't you think that that's more like maybe the one of the others Vegapunks that have more this ability than her?
That was one of the
They
things
all
that I wondered because like once you blow up the island, his brain is up in that thing. Like if it blows up, like does Vegapunk just die or like does the knowledge
need
go somewhere
Chaka's-
else?
They need Chaka's SD card, don't they?
No, so the way that it works is that they all pull their knowledge in, like at certain points, and then they all have shared knowledge, but they all have the knowledge still from it.
Okay.
Yeah, so like all of the Vegapunks are very skilled. They just are different like aspects of Vegapunk's personality. But like York is a very lazy aspect of Vegapunk who basically wants to just do things very quick and live a life of luxury. So all she would have to do is basically take the knowledge that Vegapunk already has, never expand on that, and just fix machines and just give them information. You know what I
I
mean?
see. Yeah, no, I see what you mean.
The way I looked at it, like, and this could be wrong, is it's almost like having Google. Like, they all have the ability to access that information, but they would still need the database to do it. So maybe they would still need Vegapunk's brain. I mean, they probably could take that pretty easily, but still, I thought that they at least needed it because he's technically the devil fruit user. Question of could they swim? If they fell in water, or do they all just basically share that devil fruit?
Well, they all have different bodies, so they're all like mechanical bodies. You know what I mean?
I
So
don't
I would
think-
assume they have the knowledge, but that's only because like Vegapunk like split up his brain. I guess it depends. It's like because technically their bodies are like made up, so like that doesn't have the devil fruit in it. The only thing that would have the devil fruit would technically be the brain. So as long as the brain isn't submarine, at least.
I think it's only Stella who would like actually not be able to swim because it's the original body, and I'm pretty sure that the others, since are like they're robots, when you think about it, they would be fine.
I wonder if that means that whenever they go to leave the island, they're going to need to take the Stella and the brain with them and keep him alive just enough to... I mean, that would make sense why York captured him and put him in the basement.
Exactly.
So that
I was gonna say
can see
that.
need him alive. He may just become like, I don't know. Just like they might put him in like stasis or something like that. Honestly, what would be really crazy is if they used Boa's devil fruit on him and turned him to stone, and then he just used his brain, because then like the devil fruit could never really leave that body. People who calls into that One Piece talk, the broker, and that's why Blackbeard wanted Boa's devil fruit, so that way he could slowly over time try and turn everyone to stone that has a devil fruit, and like basically make it so that they couldn't die, so that way no devil fruits would ever reincarnate, and he would be the only one left with all that power.
Yeah, so I remember hearing that theory. That theory doesn't work out though, because you can still technically kill them by just knocking them over into stone. So like that you would, and honestly, if like, so here's the thing with devil fruit users, it's like we don't know exactly what makes a devil fruit reincarnate. We don't know like what really precludes it, because let's say that somebody dies, right, and you reanimate their body. Well, their body is still alive. Does it still have the devil fruit in it? We haven't actually gotten that answer, and especially with like devil fruits, like the shadow fruit, it really does beg the question, because like Oars was able to stretch his shadow and like have Luffy's devil fruit powers even without having a devil fruit. So it really is the question: what is devil fruit? And if a devil fruit's will is strong enough, can it just reincarnate out of that? And I think that the answer is yes. That if a devil fruit finds that a host is unable to continue to carry on their own will, a devil fruit would just reincarnate, as we saw with Dr. Vegapunk during Egghead. So that's why I think that the only reason I would see Blackbeard going after that devil fruit is, one, because he likes to go after strong devil fruits to give to his crew. Two, it could be a really good bartering tool. Three, there could have been somebody in the past that he wanted to take out of stone that maybe was still in stone, which could have been
I like this
like
one.
some other pirate. That was my original theory, is that there was that somebody in the past had used it on somebody from the ancient century. He wanted to redo it, but then Boa said you can't do it.
But I have something against that. Is that like how I see Boa's fruit is how I see I think Sugar's fruit. Is that like if she's knocked out, are people like gonna get returned to humans? You know, just like
so.
Sugar, like you know, when she makes them into puppets, if she gets knocked out, everybody returns as humans in Dressrosa. So like, because like that would be too powerful just to put them in stone and like they stay in stone. Like what if like Boa dies, or what if Boa like just get knocked out, or like what if, you know, so it has to be like there has to be something that makes them go back to humans, because otherwise it would be too strong, bro.
I think it depends.
The big issue is that from what we've been told of Boa's devil fruit, that's just not the case. Because even if the user dies, you cannot turn them back out of stone. That's like the ultimate knockout is death. So I think that Boa's devil fruit is actually just far stronger than we get it credit for. There's obviously the influences to Greek mythology with Medusa. Medusa was one of the most beautiful women. Was turned ugly and gave snake like R-worded by I think it was Apollo. It was either Apollo or Zeus, one of them. But that's why she was turned into such a hideous monster, and then was able to turn people into stone. You can look up the full story, but every time there's like something with like Greek influences like that, it's usually incredibly powerful, like all of the ancient weapons. So I think that Boa probably has some sort of like mythical Zoan.
That's what I thought too. I thought that she would have.
Strong.
Well, not only that, what we've seen from Blackbeard is he literally only goes after what would be considered probably the strongest fruits. And that's why I put so much stock in Chopper, because he went to Drum Island looking for Chopper's fruit before Chopper got it. I think he knew it was there. And that's why I also think that that's why he went to Amazon Lily to get Boa's fruit, because I think that she does have like the mythical model, like Medusa or something similar like that. Yeah. Because like, and it's very interesting because every, like her sisters have 2 different snake model Zoans and she doesn't. But it would make sense because of her powers and because of like the way that Amazon Lily is set up to be like a snake, like princess type thing, the whole 9. It would be something similar to like a Medusa fruit.
And there's an Boa something. It actually exists. I went to the zoo. I went to the zoo and I saw it, and I was like, "Yo, that Boa Hancock." I was looking Boa. I was like, "Yo, One Piece. I was looking at my friends. They were like, "You're such a nerd," and I was like,
It's also interesting. I actually just saw a TikTok today that every like person from Amazon Lily is modeled after a flower. So like even Boa, like I think like a Hancock is like a type of flower or something like that. And then her sister's name is like Marigold, and I forget what her other sister's name is, but they're all like even down
"So
to
cool."
the granny, her name is Gloriosa or something like that, and there's a flower that's named that. Like, so they're all literally modeled after flowers. So I mean, it is interesting, and even when it comes down to Shaki, there's a flower that draws inspiration from Shaki. So I was like, that's a really cool little tidbit. But
Yeah, no, that's really nice.
but yeah, so on the topic of devil fruits, actually, so I remember me and Chestnut actually talked about this, but we went over just like really, because we were talking about Blackbeard and like all these different devil fruits and all this knowledge. So, do you guys read My Hero Academia, or have you watched the anime or
I'm
anything?
I'm at season
Anime only.
5. I'm at season 5, then I need to get caught up.
Okay, so in My Hero, this is not really like a spoiler. There's this thing, it's called the quirk singularity theory. And basically, as people like naturally mate in the My Hero world, they their quirks develop and like they mix with other quirks and they become stronger and stronger as the generations come, to the point where eventually one day quirks will be so strong that people won't be able to control them at all and they'll just run rampant. And I had the thought that if devil fruits are powered and basically they draw inspiration from people's dreams, and if the world government hadn't stepped in the way they normally do and try to crush those dreams, do you think that devil fruits would continue to grow exponentially stronger as people basically ate them? Then their dreams would accumulate and make the devil fruits even stronger. And I think that that's how it would be very interesting if it played into Hime's theory about everyone's awakening being different. Because if someone
I
originally had like, oh, I just have like a shield fruit or something like that, and then all of a sudden it becomes the next generation's like a barrier fruit, then it's like a force field, then it gets like progressively stronger as the time grows. What do you guys think?
I don't think that it necessarily becomes stronger. I think that it can become stronger if the beholder is strong enough. So like how I see it is that like if you are able with your imagination and your will to like take this fruit to another level, it will go, it's limitless. How I see it, it's limitless depending on your will and your creativity with the devil fruit. Because you can create your attacks, you can decide what to do with it, and as I said, I think that the awakening depends on your will and how you view your devil fruit and how the awakening is personalized and customized for yourself as a person. So I don't think it gets stronger. I just think depending on the person and their will and their strength, it can be stronger depending on the person. But also, there's also like we can argue the fact that like oh the will is transferred over. Even if the will is transferred over, if the person like is like just like a person who doesn't have that much will, that much determination, that will is like wasted on him. If that makes sense. So it really depends on the person, I think, more than the fact that it's like given out to somebody.
What about you, Tanuki?
I agree with Hime. In My Hero with the quirk singularity, it's because every time it's passed down from the generation, the quirks get stronger and stronger. But with devil fruits, that's not necessarily the case. We can actually see this with like Ace and Sabo got the same devil fruit. The devil fruit didn't get stronger; it just manifested differently. Like with Doflamingo, like his big move is the bird cage, right? And it's like, his awakening is obviously like that, but you could say, oh, well, that bird cage is probably part of that awakening as well, his personality. But if somebody else had that same devil fruit, they probably wouldn't be able to do the bird cage because it's not something that fits within their personality. So I think Hima is right. I think it's very personality based, and even though somebody's will can be passed on within the devil fruit, if you're not strong enough to access that will, it's not going to really help you.
Okay, I can see that. I just so the reason I say that is because I think that and this is something that I've thought for a while now, that there's a possibility that someone could be over time, and maybe this even goes into like Eam or maybe someone else that has the ability to split the power of devil fruits into two different fruits. And the reason I thought that, and one of the chapters that actually drew, I thought, wow, that doesn't even make sense to be like almost on its own, is actually one of the latest chapters. So when I saw Karasu's Soot devil fruit, I was like, holy shit. I was like, he could be a Logia, he could be a special Paramecia. I'm not sure which it is, but I was like, honestly, the fact that it's bird themed and the fact that it's basically ash, I'm like, it would go so perfectly with Marco's devil fruit. And it would make sense that if it was whole, if it would be like, oh, you took the phoenix and the soot fruit and put them together, it would solve the one issue that Marco actually has with stamina. So every time that Marco would heal himself and basically get to the point of like, you know, losing all of his stamina, he would fall to ashes, and then like a phoenix, he would then rise from the ashes again, and it would just be like a cycle, almost similar to what the fuck is his name? The egg guy from Big Mom's Crew.
You're talking about
I can't think of his name. The one who always says Bon after everything.
Yeah. Oh, what is his name? That's
Yeah, I forgot the names too.
Bone Shear. Hold up.
Yeah, the guy who has like a hat and
the cup of tea that he brings down. I actually really like his design. I thought it was very funny.
I mean, everybody's design in Whole Cake is like super original, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's Tamago.
I should have known that because Tamago means egg in Japanese.
But yeah, like I was like, man, it's almost like as if they took the phoenix fruit and almost like split it into two. And I was like, that would be such a cool one. And then I was like, another good one would be like Toki and Bonnie's fruit. The ability to go forward in time and to control other people's time. Like having...
that would be too overpowered.
Well, yeah, but that's exactly why someone would want to take that and split it into two. Because together, they would make something that would be really incredibly strong and overpowered. Mm-hmm. And that's where I was, like, thinking in my head, I'm like, what would make a fruit continue to grow? And I was like, well, if fruits are the manifestation of dreams and people continue to dream out of control and we're dreaming to have more and more power, that would make these fruits ridiculous. And then what would put that in check is taking that power and then having it by splitting it into two. And
I wanted to say something regarding that, is that like when you think about it, okay, the Gomu Gomu no Mi, like it's just like a rubber fruit. And like I feel like it's like, you know, nobody would have expected it to like be this strong and have this awakening and everything. So I think it's because of the person who's like wielding it and the will of that person, that and the fact that like they have so much, like they have such a strong will and they have like this whole creativity, this whole way of like using it. That's why it has this amazing awakening. So like, you know, people are like, yo, I want to have a Logia fruit, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure no matter what fruit you have, if you're not strong-willed, like your awakening will be trash. It won't be good. So no matter how weak your fruit looks like, just Kaido, like his fruit, like the first fruit, it was like a type of like fish fruit, right? I forgot the name, but like it wasn't like a dragon, and he like took it to the next level. So I feel like anybody with like even a trash fruit could take it to the next level depending on the person. So that's why I think it's the person that matters more than the fruit.
I actually agree with you, but very quick correction on the Kaido fruit thing. So Kaido has the fish fruit model Azure Dragon, which is like a specific thing based on the Japanese lore. He's a Magikarp. You know how Magikarp evolves into Gyarados? So like that's just like it's just the fruit. Well, so in my opinion, the reason that is like the fruit is always a dragon, because everybody thinks Kaido's awakened, but it was never stated. Yeah. They literally always say like, "This is my awakening."
Yeah,
and they,
I don't think Kaido was awakened.
He's not. No. He isn't. But it's like that. That could be like maybe somebody like changed it and like had this sometime in the past. And I think that people can change devil fruits. But I also think that you're right. It's very will dependent. Because like Kaido probably got the fruit and it was already a dragon. But like somebody in the past, like let's say like if Ryuma had the fruit, or if like that was the fruit that like Ryuma slayed. You know what I mean? Like somebody had that devil fruit and that was the dragon that Ryuma slayed, which I think is actually the case. Considering that we don't see like actual dragons in One Piece other than like weird mechanical like ones that are just like kind of created and they're not really dragons like in Punk Hazard. But like there's no like dragon bones. There's just like dragon devil fruits. So it's like people probably dreamed that up. But also like if you had to like try to like actually like use that devil fruit like how Momonosuke was, like roll it and do it, it was useless.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I feel like I've already told that to Chestnut. If somebody, a random person, like let's say Foxy bro, just got like the Gomu Gomu no Mi, I'm sure he would never have like done the gears altogether. Like I feel like that
needs to get out of my mind right now.
Yo,
but that's the thing. I think that like the gears are something that Luffy created. That Luffy, like with his imagination, his will, and everything, he was like, he got to these steps, and the fact that he got to like, the last step, like it was just like because he has so much will that he was able to go beyond what the fruit is like normally like actually no, the fruit, I'm pretty sure the fruit is limitless, as I said, but like it's because he was Luffy. That's why he was able to get to this level with the fruit.
That's actually really interesting you bring up Foxy, because I thought about like if there was actually a almost like a speed fruit, like that would make someone really fast or something like that. If that combined with Foxy's fruit would be like the motion fruit, he controls all motion whatsoever. You could slow people down or you could speed people up.
That's crazy. But
like,
yo, honestly, that would be crazy. But yo, like as I said, for example, like Buggy, like I'm pretty sure the day he will awaken, it will be amazing. But like if you would have given his fruit to somebody who's like more like woke, let's say Shanks had his fruit, he would be already awakened by now, So like it depends. It really depends on the person.
Shit, if Lucci can awaken, anybody can.
Wow.
Yo, what was it? What was the Luigi scream?
Yeah, that was wild.
He went,
No, it's funny because I also like trash talked him. I was like, some people shouldn't come back to the story, and then I was like saying like crocodile, and then I was like Lucci taking another L as always, like stuff.
Honestly, so in the latest chapter when like Jabra and all them were there, I was like in my like live react, I was just like, yo, $20 says Jabra's awakened right now. Like, and someone in the comment was like, no way, there's no way that Jabra would be awakened. I'm like, bro, we saw Kaku awaken in like 2 years. You're telling me that Jabra, who's had his fruit, isn't gonna be awakened either? Like, even if it's the fake awakening, Jabra would probably have it.
Like how people like took that fake awakening thing. I remember when I was like, it's artificial devil fruit awakenings, and me and Larry went into like that huge like theory craft on that because he hated the fact that they were awakened.
I mean, honestly, it makes sense that it would be, because like we haven't ever seen anybody wear like the black Hagoromo scarf looking thing, and so it was like a really weird awakening that he got, and then Kaku had the same exact thing, and like a lot of people think that like Monster Point for Chopper was almost like a touching awakening basically, but not actually getting there, and he did it through artificial means. So if anybody could do that, it would be someone like, Vegapunk that could do that for the world government. And it honestly, it seems like it's the only thing that makes sense, until we get more information as far as how someone awakens, like a checklist of like what people need to do to get there. Like, it's the only thing that makes sense, because like Kaku doing it in less than or like 2 years is pretty fucking insane, considering Kaido and a bunch of other people did not awaken.
But also, as I said, like it's not because you awaken that depending on you, on the type of person you are, your awakening could be like trash. Just like some of them, they're not that strong and they got like beat up like really fast. even if they were awakened. So and also I'm pretty sure like the artificial awakening is it will never be as strong as a natural one. So there's that too.
Yeah. I mean, it didn't seem strong enough. I mean, Luffy kind of just like dog walked Lucci like it was no big deal. So,
Yeah.
but I expect that from Luffy too. So,
Yeah, 100%.
but the reason why I was thinking about like the splitting of devil fruits is really like, I mean, we haven't seen it yet, and a lot of people are saying like, oh, eventually Blackbeard's going to get a third fruit. But I don't know if I subscribe to that theory. I feel like he's not going to get a third. I feel like everything is like painting it in this way that he's going to get a third fruit, like the way that his Jolly Roger has 3 skulls. The fact that he has 3 guns. People are saying he's got 3 personalities. Sometimes each, teeth are missing in different areas. Like everything that is like going, like leading us to that is something that Oda would do just to kind of like veer us off into a different direction then. And that's why I think that there's a possibility that like the darkness fruit and the quake fruit were actually one fruit together, and that's why he can have them both at the same time, because we still have yet to see anybody ever have 2 fruits at the same time. And that's why I think that like even way back in Fishman Island where they like showed us the quintuplets who were each one of the gods' names, like you had Nika, Senka, Yonka, what was the other one? Oh, and I think it was Ichika. Like those were all supposed to be the names of what the gods were, which is the forest god, the earth god, the sun god, and the rain god. But like, so we obviously know the sun god is Nika, but there was 5 of them, and one of them was Yonka 1 and Yonka 2. So like, it led me to believe that the earth god was 1 and 2, meaning that they were split up, and that's why he needed both those fruits. Because if Blackbeard is this mastermind, which I think that he's really smart, I think that he would know this type of information. The reason why he wanted to get on Whitebeard's ship is because he knew he had the quake fruit. And then finally, when he got to the point where he saw the darkness fruit, which he knew was 1/2 of the puzzle, he took it for himself. He immediately killed Thatch, even though he most likely was waiting for Whitebeard to die so he could steal that fruit. But it just so happened that the Yami Yami fell into his lap. He was able to take that, and then eventually he did everything that he did to make sure that Ace got captured and that it would lead to Whitebeard's death so he could take the other half of his fruit, which would then become the Earth God fruit. That's my thoughts on it. But I could be completely wrong. There's a million different ways that you could take how he's going to get his fruits, why he wants those fruits and everything. And that's like the biggest theory piece.
I don't think they complete each other. I don't think darkness and the quake fruit completes each other. To be honest, like if you would have to say complete something that completes it, it would be like maybe what is his name? Wait, what is his name? The light guy.
Kizaru.
Yeah, Kizaru's fruit, because that would be like the opposite together. But I feel like he just me personally, why I think he will have a third devil fruit, because he would have been like one of each type, and that would make like the one of each type fruit. That I hear Chestnut on this one.
So we actually talked about this in the last stream that me and Nerdtaku did, where we were talking about like devil fruits completing each other, and I think that it might be cool if it's like, because like with fission energy, like if you have something, you have like a really dense molecule, and eventually like you break it apart so that eventually it'll become like hydrogen, you know what I mean? But like throughout that thing you release like a bunch of energy and you get all of these other molecules. So it is something that like actually is like in the real world where you could have like combination devil fruits. I think you're right that they're a darkness fruit. I would say like the darkness fruit would probably be more apt to like even like a water type devil fruit, you know what I mean? Darkness at the bottom of the ocean, things like that where there's more congruency. But I think the fact that like maybe even the god type devil fruits could have had eventually had been like one god, and there could also be something, because if you look at like the Bible that Kuma's holding, there's only one person on the front of it, So it could be that there was eventually there used to be like a single god devil fruit. Because and if you think about like ancient Greek mythology as well, I think that it was Zeus who was like the only god, right? Because he was the only one who wasn't like eaten by the Titans, I think. And like he like out of his mind birthed like other things. And obviously Oda loves to take from like Greek mythology, so it's like one devil fruit, a god type devil fruit, could birth other devil fruits like through them, and that could have been like the original primordial devil fruit, that eventually split into all other devil fruits. Which could also be why there's not any more devil fruits, and you can't create devil fruits. You know what I mean? Because every devil fruit came from its one true creator devil fruit. Something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking more, and I get what you mean. Like the quake and the darkness don't really have any correlation. Like the closest thing would be like maybe more like shadows and darkness, like Moria's. But the reason why I say that is because like if we're looking to draw parallel to like a god or something like that, I would say that Hades is probably the closest thing because he rules at the center of the earth. And it's basically just like a constant turmoil of hell in the innards of the earth that's filled with darkness. Basically, that's what I would draw like a parallel to. But for some reason, I think that it's so interesting that we got more information about the sun god, or at least Nika, Joy Boy, in Fishman Island. And then we had that cover story, and we got the names of the gods in the same, time. And in, I forget if it was, I think it was a color spread, we got the layout of the quintuplets, and there was like the sun up above, then there was the quintuplet that was named Nika, and then there was Luffy right below it, and it was like a straight line. So it was just interesting, but to have like 5 quintuplets but not have them match the naming scheme, because it was all based upon like the numbers, sort of like Sanji and his brothers, like Ichiji, Niji, Yonji, Sanji, like it was Ichika, Sanka, Yonka, and Nika. So like it was all like the 1, 2, 3, 4, and then instead of naming them like Goka, they named them Yonka 2. They just added a number at the end. It was like kind of like they just ran out of inspiration, but it seemed like it was leaning towards something. That's why I was thinking that it would be something along there. Mm-hmm. You telling people about your teeth story?
Bro. Everybody needs to know that I'm in pain. Everybody's always shocked to find. Everybody's always shocked to be like, you have baby teeth? Yes, I have 4 baby teeth in my mouth. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't have adult teeth. Some people missing teeth. Okay,
just keep the shattered tooth, because like honestly, it would work really well with the Blackbeard cosplay.
Bruh, I didn't think of that.
I had bonding on it already to make it look like an adult tooth, but I'm just gonna get implants eventually, so I'm probably gonna just go for a consult. But I'll just get more bonding on it so it looks like a regular tooth again.
Yeah, there you go.
And then it'll continue to shatter in my fucking mouth. Apparently, I don't know.
That sounds awful.
I'm so sorry to hear this.
Like the worst thing I've ever had.
Baby teeth aren't meant to last.
Yeah, the worst thing I've ever had was taking my wisdom teeth out.
I had my wisdom teeth taken out too. I wish they could have taken them out and put them right in.
I spent a week in the hospital because I had surgery to take my wisdom tooth out and they fucked up.
Oof.
A week, and I told the story to Chestnut. That was crazy. That was some crazy thing.
That is wild. So, the next theory I want to talk about is along the lines of Blackbeard again. I figured, why not keep all the Blackbeard stuff for when Chestnut's around?
Yeah, of course.
So, I had the thoughts of, if we're going to take the parallels of Luffy and Blackbeard for like just the whole way, there was something really interesting because of the fact that I think that Blackbeard might have a god fruit. And as we've basically seen, all god fruits have like a hidden ability. Like So there was something that was really interesting about the fact that somehow Blackbeard has a Logia fruit, but it doesn't act like a normal Logia. Twice the impact or the
The
damage.
damage.
Yeah. So one of the things that I thought of was if devil fruits are basically made of like will and dreams, when he negates the devil fruit, what if he just brings their dreams basically to a halt and almost like makes reality happen in those moments? Like Luffy's is about imagination and being able to do anything that he imagines. So it's basically like the parallel to that. It's like it brings you back down to reality where devil fruits don't actually work, because your dreams are like null and void at that point. So I was like, that would be insane, because that could mean that some form of awakening, because like Luffy, obviously when he's in his awakened form, his imagination is this, and he's like 100% free. But Blackbeard's awakening would be something of like 100% like bound, like binding, like the opposite of freedom for everyone else, and then Blackbeard's the only one who's free. So if he was able to use his awakening, it would basically like be similar to how Luffy can affect the area around him, but his would make everyone's devil fruits just not happen. And like it could even correlate to hockey, because hockey in reality is just will, but it's like the fact that you're able to bring your will out and use it. It wouldn't even be that. It would just be like you're a normal person, like in our world.
Oh, I had the theory that Blackbeard could negate hockey, but here's a big issue with the theory that he can negate an imagination. When Ace and Luffy both attacked Blackbeard, both of them still thought that they were like Ace still thought he was fire and was shocked, and he's like, "How are you doing this?" If it was bringing it down, there should have been some sort of cue that he hesitated or he didn't feel like fire anymore, but there was no inclination of that. And it's the same thing as Luffy, where Luffy was like, people were like, "How were you hurt by that? Like, you shouldn't have been able to get hurt, you're rubber." And Luffy was like totally shocked, like an impel down, because he's like, "What do you mean I'm rubber?" So you could say that it's affecting the devil fruit, because like when you are a user, you have will. It would be very difficult to like, oh well, even though the user still thinks the devil fruit hasn't been shown to, to really respond to that. And then it's also like, well, how does it negate the will then? There's no interaction. It's not like throughout the battle all of a sudden slowly you lose your devil fruit. It's like on contact, which is why I would say that it's. I would love for him to be able to negate like stuff like that. I think what the more likely thing is that in an awakening, I think that could be possible, but it would have to be like through the use also of Conqueror's Hockey to negate will. It can't just be the devil fruit, because at the end of the day, his devil fruit works very similarly to water and to Sea Prism Stone, and it's just like because it's that instant contact. If it wasn't, it would be very weird how he could just negate things like right off the bat. Like he was able to negate Boa's devil fruit, and yet Boa still thought she was the most beautiful woman in the world, and that all men should kneel to her. So it's like, how, you know what I mean? How would that actually work if it's negating dreams? What would be the function of that? And if it's working with the devil fruits, wouldn't the devil fruits rather respond to the user's will than Blackbeard's?
It could.
I
No, go ahead.
I just wanted to say, I think he just can negate devil fruits. It has nothing to do with the will, or it has nothing to do with hockey or anything. I think it just negates literally just devil fruits. Because otherwise, like, he would be unbeatable. That would make no sense, honest. Just the want to have dreams. Like, he should be like his opposite, and that's not the case. So for example, if Blackbeard goes against Shanks, you're telling me that he can just negate his hockey and like he would win. That makes no sense. We need like something that we can work against Blackbeard. He would be too overpowered.
I understand that point. So my big thing would be, it's like, what actually is hockey? And like, could hockey be energy in the world? Because hockey at this point is basically just ki, right? Like it's willpower, or like it's stand power. It's literally like just JoJo stands. Imagine you negate that by stopping it from exiting your body, so that you could like contain your will. You could, if there was like you like surrounded yourself in darkness, so if you can actually use it. That's how I would explain that Blackbeard can negate hockey, but it would have to be through contact. It would have to be like he's literally stopping it from exiting because he's like your will is on the inside and he's negating everything outside of it. Like it's literally like a sea prism. Prison. You know what I mean? I would say what go ahead.
What if he was able to basically use like a version of Rio with his darkness and put the darkness inside of someone to negate their hockey from the inside?
So here's the big thing with the hockey, and I obviously I was like on Larry's podcast I said that it would be cool to have it, but so here's the big thing with Blackbeard negating it and it being dreams at first also is that Blackbeard has some of the best dreams in the series as well, so it's like it doesn't really work with the thematic portion specifically for hockey though. Number one, I don't think that devil fruits and hockey don't actually combine in a way. It's more so like the only time we've actually seen it would be like in Gear 4. But the way that Gear 4 works is that Luffy has his devil fruit, makes his body bigger, and then just coats himself in hockey. So he's just using hockey with his devil fruit rather than combining it. For Blackbeard, it would just have to be Rio. It can't be his devil fruit because it would have to somehow combine his devil fruit and hockey. Number one, we've never seen like any hockey feat from him, so we don't even know if he can do Rio. Like we've seen like an armament feat, but it's not something that's very impressive.
No.
The second thing that it is, it's like, what does Blackbeard even care about hockey? Like even though he has it, is it something that's a huge focus? Like with Luffy, like his entire focus throughout everything was like focusing on his hockey and doing that. I think what is a better explanation is that he's going to rely on his devil fruit. And it's one of the reasons why the Big Mom Kid and Law fight were all devil fruits. Because I think that Oda is like, there's going to be a fight between devil fruits and hockey. Because at the end of the day, like when Luffy went into Gear 5, like Kaido said, oh, yeah, that's pretty strong, and then started like throwing him around. Like, yeah, Luffy was able to beat Kaido at the end, but Luffy was only able to beat Kaido because he used hockey. But also, he also has his devil power, so it's going to be like, could Luffy beat Kaido with just his hockey and not devil fruits? And if you take away Luffy's devil fruit and he only has hockey, that's something he has to kind of continue to work on, where it's like, Blackbeard doesn't really have those hockey feats, but his devil fruit is so overpowered that he can rely on that. So it's going to be very interesting to kind of see that. I like the way that Blackbeard negates hockey. I love that theory, but I think that we need a better explanation than this dreams thing, because at the end of the day, it would have to be something to do rather with Conker's hockey than actually the devil fruit, because the devil fruit doesn't have any will of its own. It would have to be something with hockey with Blackbeard for negating that type of stuff.
I would really like to see like more of Blackbeard, at least more of his motivations, because I feel like when we got like the little tidbit of him being like, oh, I want to make, a country that's, affiliated with the world government or whatever, and I'd be the king of it. Like that just seemed like a really shell, like not an actual dream that he had. It's just like a stepping stone on the way to it. And I'm like, I just want to hear more. Like, I want to hear more motivation from you outside of that. Because if that's the tip of the iceberg of your dream, that seems very shallow and like unnecessary. But I know that as him as a person, he wants more than that as a character. So like him just being like, I just want to be affiliated with the world government. I'm like, yo, that's a punk ass dream, bro. Get better, loftier goals.
No, I disagree. And I think that we're starting to learn more about Blackbeard because of that. Because, like at some point, Oda will give us a bit more of backstories coming to like Blackbeard, his motivation, how he grew up, why is he this way, and everything. And like whenever he drew Blackbeard as a kid, he always looked sad. Blackbeard always looked sad as a kid in the drawings that Oda made of him. So like he probably didn't have a nice childhood, and maybe he like just a bit like Big Mom. Like Big Mom is a Yonko, and she only wanted to create a country that has all races and no discrimination. Just have like a big dinner with a family. So maybe Blackbeard wants to have something that is like similar, but like more like, different, but similar to like Big Mom. And it's not because like, oh, it's Blackbeard who's supposed to want to dominate the world. He's not the Flamingo. Like the Flamingo wants to do that, and he's not the end villain, the end game villain. So I think that would be really cool that he actually has like a pure dream, but like he does it in a bad villain way because that's just how he is as a person. And I think I would get more attached to him once Oda explained to us why he wants to do that, why he wants to have this island in this country. Is it because like he has a void in his heart, something that happened in his life? Is it because like So I think that would like really make him a really cool character, like because like dominating the world and being the king of everything, that's like so cliche. Like I want something more emotional that I can get attached to him.
I agree, but at the same time, I want Blackbeard to be the epitome of what a pirate should always strive for when it comes to like having loftier goals. I don't want him to just stop at like King of a Kingdom. That to me is like exactly what Doflamingo and Crocodile would do, and like they were like early stage villains in my opinion. I want to see Blackbeard go for the gold. I want to see him strive to be the one that sits on the throne above all the kingdoms. I want to.
But even Luffy doesn't want to do that. Even Luffy, the
So-
main character, doesn't want to do that. He just wants to be free and the king of the pirates. So like, it would make sense for Blackbeard to now want to go beyond that because we already have Emu.
So here's my thing. I feel like we're forgetting pre-time skip when Blackbeard did basically the exact same thing with the warlords, and it just turned out he had ulterior motives. It is very clear if you're looking at the parallels that Oda is doing. This is him joining the warlords. Him be using Kobe to try to get into the world government is because he needs something from them, and this is the easiest way. It's the path of least resistance. Because let's be honest, Blackbeard could have just gone into Impel Down and broke in. You know what I mean? But he decided, he's like, hey, if I become a warlord, I'll have a far easier time getting in. I'll be able to set more stuff up. I'll have more room to execute my plan. And then you saw, like, it's basically like saying, oh, well, Blackbeard is endgame villain. Why would he ever want to join the warlords and work underneath the world's government? And it was like, but that wasn't ever the end goal. That was just the means to an end. So when you're looking at Blackbeard saying, I want to go into the world government, like, I'm going to have this become an actual nation, what does that actually give him? First off, it gives him protection from the world government, because if he is an actual legitimate nation, he is now covered, and he has a far more freedom to do underground trade, have his own army, and not have the navy go after him. So he's able to do a lot more stuff. The second thing it gives him would be access to the Reverie, and as well as access to Mary Joie. Because as a pirate, he would get bombed down immediately. But if he was to have a country, he would have access to Mary Joie, and he would be able to participate as a country in the Reverie. The third thing that it gives him is that it would probably give him far more access to Navy and Marine supplies and resources. Because if he's a country, now he can start negotiating and actually having trade. And if he needs something, he'll be able to get it far easier. There's also the point that he could also have far more access to changing and turning certain Marines, because he'd have more communication and talking with them. Imagine a bunch of Marine ships that turn coat on the world government and decide to work for Blackbeard. This isn't the end goal, and I don't know why so many people think that this is the end goal for Blackbeard when we've seen it basically been said, like, in pre-time skip, where it's like, Blackbeard uses people. That's his entire thing. So it's like, why would this be any different? Like, he doesn't obviously want to be there. Like, this is a use case. Like, there's another motive, and we just need to wait, because this is him joining the warlords.
Questions for y'all. So like, what if like he does that, and then as you said, like he gets invited to Marijua, and then he launches an attack on them, and because he wants to something, like he knows Imu's existence. I don't know. He does something, and at the end, the goal, like that he wanted, wasn't to actually sit on the throne, but he just wanted to like retrieve something that was really important to him, or like that had to do with his backstory or something. Would you guys be disappointed that he wouldn't want to rule over the world, and that he had like just like a different motive?
See, I think that Blackbeard's true goal is to destroy the world. Like, actually legitimate cause chaos. So I don't think he's going to be the ruler of anything.
I actually agree with Chestnut. I think that his goal, because of what you said, like whenever we've seen him drawn in the past as a kid or whatever, he's always looked very sad. He was very lonely. Like, he basically was all by himself. So maybe his idea is exactly a parallel of Luffy's, but in a different way. Like, Luffy wants to set everyone free, And maybe that's also Blackbeard's goal, anarchy. You know, hey, everyone's free, but everyone can do whatever they want. So where I feel like Luffy is more like, I want everyone to be free and like also not fucking kill each other and just have like a good time. So now, I mean, I agree. I think that this is just a stepping stone, and it makes sense. It just, and I really don't get the people who are like, yo, that's like a weak ass goal. I'm like, bro, there's no way that's the tip. Like that's not where he's headed. Cause like if people were to look at this whole like series and be like, that's the goal that he was aiming for. I'm like, dude, he could have done that so much easier. Doflamingo did that. Like Crocodile was on his way to do that. Like those are two people that did it pretty easily.
But why did he wait that long to do it if it was so easy to do it? He could have done it like earlier. Is it because he waited to like have the 2 devil fruits and like did he have like steps that he had to like go through before doing that?
I would assume so. I would assume that this is the moment in time where he actually needs to do it. Because when you're looking at Blackbeard, everything is always timing based. And people like to say that Blackbeard doesn't have a plan and he's very like spur of the moment. Blackbeard wasn't going to do any of this unless he came across a certain devil fruit. So he's probably waiting for certain criteria to be met first in order to move on with his plan. He has something. Just like how Luffy has his ultimate dream, Blackbeard probably has something very similar.
Of course.
Yeah, because they're parallels of each other. So I would assume that like Luffy right now has a Yonko crew and is doing this stuff. Well, Blackbeard already reached Yonko status, but now he's trying to find something a little different. And I think what he's trying to find is located somewhere within the world's government's grasp, and so he needs better access to get there.
Yeah,
100%.
I think that I honestly think that it's less planned out than other people are trying to make it seem. And I think that he feels as if fate is guiding him. So that way everything's going to work out. Like, I feel like it's not like he has everything quite planned out, but he knows that like fate is smiling upon him in that way. Like,
isn't that Buggy?
A little bit. Like Buggy kind of like fails upwards and he doesn't think that anything's gonna work out and it just happens
and it works,
too.
Yeah.
But like Blackbeard is like, I'm like preordained by God, like in a way. Like, do you know like the story of George Washington thought like he was literally like invincible? Like he thought that God was always going to take care of him. And like he would ride into battle like head first constantly, and he would just make it out just by luck. And he would basically think, well, like God is on my side, I can never fail. And like even when he got like shot before, like literally like the bullet was like went right through, and he was able to be like sewn up, and everything was fine. I feel like that's Blackbeard in a way. Like he's riding like headfirst into like ordeal, and he doesn't exactly have a plan on how to go through everything. Like he doesn't have it meticulously planned out. Like he's
Luffy.
Yeah, exactly. Like I similar to like he's not Light Yagami. Like he's not like 10 million steps ahead.
Okay.
I think he has a rough idea and just kind of goes with the flow, and fate just sort of hands him it. Like, dude,
adapt.
Yeah.
Depending on the situation.
Yeah.
So like, do you know what I call this? Natural selection.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I mean, like he rolled.
This should have been the catchphrase. This should have been the catchphrase.
Natural select. We say that so often.
Like he rolled in to like Aokiji and was just like, hey, like I'm gonna pal around with this guy and hopefully he unfreezes my homies. Like it's not like he had a plan. Like he wasn't gonna beat Aokiji at that moment. But like fate smiled upon him and was like, you know, Aokiji was like, yeah, sure, let's have a beer or whatever. And then, you know, so on and so forth. And it just sort of panned out for him. Like, I just think...
I wouldn't mind.
Yeah.
Both are nice. Him planning everything or him like having fate on his side. I would like both, to be honest. Both are really cool. So in my opinion, I wouldn't be mad at any of them.
Yeah, it's almost like, I don't know if you've ever seen like Deadpool 2 or anything, like the one girl's...
I didn't, but I know this. I know a bit.
Yeah.
I know that he's lucky and stuff.
Yeah, the girl in it, Domino, she's like, my like mutant ability is luck, and he's like, that's not a real power. But like, you know, they're speeding down an interstate and the car like buckles and she flies out the sunroof and lands on a teddy bear. Like, just like, it's super lucky like that everything happens that way, but it just happens. So I kind of like that. But yeah, all right. Yo, I have to ask you guys: were you on the Yamato train when it came to her joining the Straw Hats or not?
No, God, no.
I was a bit just because I was attached to Yamato, but then I was like, this makes no sense. And I already explained it I think 1,000 times to Chestnut, and it's because I will try to say it really really fast. Is because every time we saw a girl from a kingdom that we were like, yo, I want her to join the crew, like Vivi or like nobody wanted Rebecca to join, but like I'm just throwing out names here. But no, I'm
Rebecca
just like
Shade.
throwing out names.
Wow.
No, no, honestly, Rebecca was the youngest out of them, so like it's not understandable. She didn't have that like the same personality. Anyway, but like to get back to the story, so I don't think she would have joined because all of them had a for their kingdom. They had to like, I mean, Wano isn't a kingdom. I don't know what it is. Probably it's like an island
It's
or
a
something.
country.
A country, yeah. They have to take care of that country. They have a purpose where they are there, and they also need like they don't bring something new to the crew or like a new role. So like all of them needed to stay where they are, and Yamato too. She needed he whatever they she it's a she. Let's say it's a she. She needed to stay there because she needed to help Momonosuke, and also like she sees herself as Oden, and so she had a purpose there. And also, if you bring her to the Straw Hats, she doesn't bring like there's no new role. She's not the cook. She's not the first commander. She's not the navigator. She's what? She's just like somebody who's like who knows how to fight. We already have Zoro. We don't need like somebody else who like we need somebody who's gonna bring something new, and also who doesn't have a purpose other than joining the Straw Hats because his agenda or whatever they're aiming for, their dreams have something to do with whatever the Straw Hats like whole plan is. So example, Bonnie. I think Bonnie would be a better fit because first, she lost her crew. She's alone, and her goal is like to like something that has to do with Kuma, something that has to do with like finding like all the truth and maybe finding a purpose to whatever she's doing, and that aligns more with the Straw Hats. And I think she would bring like a role of like the person who spies, who can go in and out, like infiltrate. She has that power. She's really good, like what
A
we saw in
rogue.
Marijua. Yeah, exactly,
Like a rogue.
She would fit way better because like she doesn't have like a kingdom she needs to take care of. She doesn't have any more purposes, and as I said, it aligns well with the Straw Hats. And she has already got in contact to like she doesn't like there's a bucket list, there's a list, and she doesn't like checks out these things for me. Even if she's really cool, I love her, but like no.
I think that Yamato is a cool character on introduction, but at the end of the day, they are incredibly annoying. Especially how they never get over the Odin thing, and the gender discourse. I'm gonna be honest, I don't even want to deal with it. At the end of the day, any pronoun is fine. Especially because the Japanese use only feminine pronouns to refer to Yamato outside of the manga. In the manga, Yamato uses the same pronouns as Big Mom. And I don't see anybody having a gender debate about Big Mom. The only other thing is that Yamato says that they're Odin, which, yeah, says that they're Odin, and although it doesn't present as a man, and also kind of doesn't have, what am I talking about? Doesn't care what pronouns people use, because Ace's crew used feminine pronouns for Yamato, and she didn't have any issue with it.